In the top stories, police investigating body found in Nevis, one killed in car crash at Bird Rock, and Patriots player removed from CPL tournament. The details to these stories and more after the break.
In your formative years, we were there. When you got the good news and the bad, we were right there with you. Through all your great adventures, we were always right by your side. Now that life has thrown us a curveball, we are still here. And as we navigate this difficult period, the SKCCU will continue to be there for you and your family to help you through. We will assist you in safely and efficiently accessing your funds through our digital platforms, online banking, mobile banking, ATMs, and even our drive-through services. We can get through this together with responsible financial decisions by making food and medication a priority, practicing proper hygiene, maintaining social distancing, and constant prayer.
We're here for you.
We're still here.
We will get through this together.
SKCCU will continue to be your financial partner for life.
Time to chill and the storage chill. Choose a chill and the storage chill. Chill with flavor, not orange and lemon lime. That's with bitters, yeah, yeah. We love the vibe. Refreshing every day, cool like island breeze. Forget your worries, come chill with me. And the storage chill, and the storage chill, chill with flavor.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I'm Jason Davis. The police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the discovery of a body in Nevis on Sunday. The deceased has been identified as 39-year-old Wilson Dorr of Bath Village. According to a police release, Dorr's body was found partially clothed in Bath Village at about 7:30 p.m. on Sunday. The district medical officer arrived at the scene and pronounced him dead. An autopsy has been scheduled to determine the exact cause of death. More information will be given in a subsequent report as details become available. Investigations continue into a fatal traffic accident that occurred in the Bird Rock area on Friday. The victim has been identified as 21-year-old Keniqua David of Sadlers. According to a police statement, the accident involved motor Jeep P6667, which is owned and was being driven by Kelly and Hazel of St. Paul's. The police say that close to 1 a.m., Hazel exited the parking lot of a club in Bird Rock and collided with a 40-foot container chassis. The St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services had to be called in to remove Miss David, who was in the front passenger seat. Both Hazel and David were transported to the JNF General Hospital via the Emergency Medical Service. Hazel was treated and discharged for injuries to his hand. David succumbed to her injuries close to midnight on August 27. An autopsy has been scheduled to determine the exact cause of death. In other news, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots player Mikhail Lewis has been forced to leave the 2021 Hero Caribbean Premier League following a breach of the tournament operating protocols and will take no further part in this year's tournament. In a press release issued on Sunday, the Hero CPL outlined the protocol breached, stating, quote, "The tournament bubble will be maintained for the entire duration of the tournament, and no one from outside the bubble will be allowed in at any of the bubble locations. Conversely, no one from inside the bubble will be allowed out of the main bubble areas. Persons who break these rules will be expelled from the tournament. No exceptions." End quote. In response to the incident, Hero CPL's Tournament Operations Director Michael Hall said, quote, "Following the receipt of some tragic news about a close friend, the player took the unfortunate and ill-advised decision to leave the hotel bubble without permission. While the league is sympathetic about the circumstances which led to the player's decision, it cannot allow the integrity of its COVID-secure bubble to be compromised." End quote. Later in the program, we'll be hearing from the CEOs of the St. Kitts Nevis Patriots and what they had to say about Lewis's protocol breach and what happens next. Coming up after the break, back-to-school teachers workshop officially underway and new SKNFA executive body elected. Stay with us.
Up and away!
My goodness, that is amazing. Clean them up.
Oh, you little ripper! Oh, can you believe it?
Magnificent.
That's unbelievable.
That is brilliant.
Triple the joy at home as you elevate your experience with Flo's new Triple Play bundles. For the first time ever, bundle up and save on internet, TV, and home phone together for more satisfaction. For as low as $175, enjoy up to 35 megabits per second super fast internet, 70 TV channels with HD entertainment, and free landline minutes with the all-in bundle. Visit your nearest Flo store to sign up for a Triple Play bundle. Conditions apply.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tax Special.
Running August 26 to September 8.
Hunt spaghetti sauces, just $4.99. Mueller's pastas, $4.99. Peter Pan peanut butter, $10.99. Post cereals, $12.99 each. Essential everyday garlic bread and the toast, $9.99. Essential everyday candied pineapples, $6.99. And now introducing our very low weekly
Value deals! Essential everyday or IGA barbecue sauces, $5.99. Silk almond and soy milk, $14.99. Equaline mouthwash, $9.49. Ensure, $7.49. Essential everyday paper towel, 8 rolls, $35.99. Final touch fabric softener, $9.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Joan in español.
Ya listo y haga sus compras aquí a
Value Mart.
We ready. Cricket is we game. Though not quite the same. We still display our passion. Love all over the Caribbean. Can you feel the energy? Team spirit and unity. Feel the soul of the Caribbean. Courage to stand as one. Yeah, yeah. Play yourself. We the best, yeah, the best, yeah, the best, yeah, the best, yeah. With passion, courage, and love. We in this together now.
Republic Bank, official banking partner of CPL 2021.
Welcome back. The annual Back-to-School Teachers Workshop began on Monday ahead of the upcoming school year and will see administrative roles across the education sector filled accordingly. During the opening ceremony, Chief Education Officer Francil Morris announced those who were new to their roles both in the schools and within the ministry.
On this occasion, I would like to congratulate all of the officers on their new assignments and wish them every success in the performance of their duties. Mrs. Elisa Romain Pistana, the new Deputy Chief Education Officer, Mr. Lester Richards, Education Officer, Ms. Jennifer Pierbell, Deputy Principal, Verchaz High School, Mr. Dalton Esdale, Deputy Principal, Keon High School, Mrs. Dornisha Williams, Deputy Head Teacher, Tyrrell Williams Primary School, Ms. Keisha Pemberton, Deputy Head Teacher, Bronte Welch Primary School.
Teachers who have earned their bachelor's and master's degrees, completed Teachers College at the Clarence Fitzroy Brant College, and new teachers to the profession were congratulated and welcomed. While giving remarks, Education Minister, the Honorable John L. Powell, spoke of the upgrades at many of the primary schools' computer labs. This has been done through a partnership with Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine. He thanked the university for continuing to deliver modernized computer labs in primary schools to introduce technology to students at that level. Minister Powell said for this upcoming year, Simply Help will also partner with the Ministry of Education in a similar venture.
My ministry reiterates a debt of gratitude to Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine for its tremendous partnership in this computer lab project. During the year ahead, the Simply Help Foundation, through the St. Kitts Nevis-based Embassy of the Republic of China and Taiwan, will partner with the Ministry of Education to establish a state-of-the-art computer lab at the St. Paul's Primary School.
He said that as the program continues, it is the ministry's intention to have the Public Works Department customize the reading rooms at the primary schools. The back-to-school teachers workshop will run until Friday. A new executive body of the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association has been elected. The group was elected at the SKNFA Ordinary Congress on Sunday. Andre Huey, media consultant to the SKNFA, has more.
Football administration in St. Kitts Nevis has a new president and executive. Former St. Kitts Nevis national player Atiba Harris was on Sunday elected president of the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association at the 2021 SKNFA Ordinary Congress held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. Majority of the members of his team that contested the elections were also elected on the new executive. Of the 26 votes in tow, Mr. Harris garnered 15 votes while his challenger Don Grant got 11 votes. Mr. Grant served as first vice president in the outgoing SKNFA executive. In his first address as president, Mr. Harris congratulated his fellow executive members and promised to raise the standard of football in St. Kitts Nevis.
It's been a long process. Thank the full slate, Sean White, Cuthbert Gaines, Javim Blanchett, Phil Cooper, Mr. Bergen, Ernest Quealy, Patricia Claxton, Arlene, and Mr. Pinney. Looking forward to raising the standard of football here in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's going to be with inclusiveness, equality, fairness, all across the board, both in St. Kitts and Nevis. Whatever is happening in St. Kitts should be happening in Nevis as well. And I'm looking forward to everybody's support going forward. So thank you guys again for electing us, and we are ready to work.
The other members of the SKNFA executive are First Vice President Sean White, Second Vice President Cuthbert Gaines, John Bergen, Javim Blanchett, Phil Cooper, Patricia Claxton, Ernest Quealy, Elaine Morris, and Carlton Pinney. Speaking shortly after the Congress, Mr. Harris said his team, though new, will bring some new ideas to the table, building on the gains already made by the previous executive.
The previous executive has been doing a good job, getting insurance, etc., and we're just looking forward to building on it so that St. Kitts and Nevis can be a strong, reputable nation in world football.
He also wants to prioritize improving the stake of the various national teams of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, I think youth development, because we got to look at the foundation, and I think having consistent running programs is going to be vital for us going forward. Because I strongly believe that we can qualify for Youth World Cup, because it's raw talent at that level, and we're going to be pushing that a lot. Also, female football is something dear to me, and we're going to be paying a lot of attention to it.
The executive, he said, would look at the current state of the various programs to determine the step forward. In the meantime, however, he stressed that the SKNFA leagues will resume as soon as they would have received the green light from the health authorities.
Well, I think a tentative date has been put out for September 18. However, we got to revisit, and we have to be careful because we're actually in a pandemic still, and we got to be very cautious with the numbers increasing. We got to sit down with the Ministry of Health, etc., also the Minister of Sports, to see what's the best way forward along with the task force. Once we get the go ahead, we look to start football immediately, because I think a lot of the clubs have been training, they've been having practice matches or friendly matches against each other, and the footballers are eager to play some football along with the fans. I think we need to have fans back at our games because the fans bring the atmosphere, so we want to have that solid atmosphere, exciting atmosphere of football in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Mr. Harris was congratulated by outgoing President Anthony Johnson, who during the Congress spoke of the accomplishments of the association under his tenure.
17 nationals studying in Cuba benefited from a donation of essential food, care and hygiene supplies by the CARE Foundation on Friday. Dr. Terence Drew, founder of the CARE Foundation, Neris Dockery, president of the CARE Foundation, owner of Island Auto Supplies, Seymour Williams, and other representatives gathered in a small handing over ceremony on the grounds of the NEMA headquarters. Dr. Drew said the donation came out of a conversation between himself and Mr. Williams. He said, quote, "From this conversation, a partnership was built in which the CARE Foundation made this initiative a major plank in its schedule of activities since our foundation was launched on April 17, 2021, end quote. Mr. Williams, who made a significant contribution of $2,000 towards this project, expressed his sincere thanks to the CARE Foundation for coordinating the project and assisting in the drive for contributions. President of the Cuba Alumni Association, Hollis Prentice, accepted the supplies, which were then distributed to the parents of the students for onward shipment to Cuba. According to a statement, the CARE Foundation intends to provide regular assistance to the Cuban students and will be opening a public drive for contributions towards assisting and supporting Kittitian and Nivisian students studying in Cuba over the coming months. National Caribbean Insurance, or NCI, recently donated $2,500 and school supplies to the Ministry of Social Services as part of its back-to-school promotion. In a post on its Facebook page, NCI noted that the school supplies donated included 30 masks, 30 bottles of hand sanitizers, and 2 medium backpacks. In a brief handing over ceremony, Floyd Charles, Senior Manager of NCI's Sales and Marketing Department, Senior Marketing Officer Sudiaka Francis, and Javel Solomon, Member Social Media Promotions Planning Committee, handed over the check and school supplies to Oslin Ward Harris, Director in the Ministry of Social Services. Mrs. Ward Harris extended her gratitude to NCI for its kind contribution. According to Mrs. Ward Harris, the economic onslaught caused by the COVID-19 pandemic has severely impacted many families, and the funds and supplies will be given to those children who are greatly in need. Coming up in regional news, Jamaica's hospitals running out of oxygen. The details when we return.
Yo! You look like the dude who was shopping at Furniture and Appliances. See, my friend, you look like you buy something from the Ashley Home Store. How you know? Because we get the cashback coupons and the free groceries for a year!
Cashback is back at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture. Shop now and get a chance to win free groceries for 1 year.
Up and away!
My goodness. That is amazing. Clean them up.
Oh, you little ripper!
Oh, can you believe it? Magnificent.
That's unbelievable.
That is brilliant.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your national bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
Regionally, Jamaica's fight against COVID-19 has hit yet another crossroad. With the increase in hospitalizations, medical facilities are now running low on oxygen. More in this TVJ News report.
Every second without sufficient oxygen at hospitals could mean life or death. It's the reality the country is currently facing. On Saturday, TVJ News was informed that several hospitals across the island were running low on medical oxygen amid a surge in COVID-19 cases. It's understood that Jamaica's sole producer of medical oxygen, IGL, has been having challenges in supplying hospitals with the commodity. In an interview with our news center, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton confirmed the news. He pointed to the increase in COVID-19 hospitalizations.
In keeping with the features of the virus, high flow oxygen is required, so there's a very big demand for oxygen. So hospitals are using 2 to 3 times what they would normally use. The sole supplier, IGL, even though they have made efforts to increase their output and have actually done so, are having some issues keeping up with the demand. And in the case of bulk oxygen, their sourcing of that commodity externally are having challenges because those markets are also under pressure and are giving preference to their local populations and hospitals.
The development coincides with a declaration by the Health Ministry on Friday that public hospitals will only be conducting emergency services as COVID cases exceed current capacity for isolation. But how are hospitals responding to the situation, which some say has reached crisis level?
So we are faced with a challenge. Having said that, the team are working to respond by moving around the mobile cylinders to where it's needed most, and to constantly, work with IGL for deliveries and based on their capacity to produce.
In the meantime, IGL says despite running low on oxygen, production is ongoing at its plant. The company says it expects that the situation will be remedied by Monday. As the country awaits the arrival of the oxygen supply, healthcare workers will have to make do with what's left of the gas at their respective facilities. Anthony Lug, TVJ News.
Still on the regional scene, the police in Guyana have called several children's organizations to help tackle incidents of rape as reported cases are high. Here's more from Travis Chase of HGP Nightly News.
As the administration of the Ghana Police Force continue to report that serious crimes is on the decline, Police Division Region Number 8, Potaro Siparuni, is reporting that rape crimes are on the rise in that division. Former acting crime chief and commander of that region, Senior Superintendent Michael Kingston, made the startling revelation when he appeared on a radio program, Police and You.
My statistics as it relates to serious crime is up. But my crime is only up because of one specific offense, and that is rape. That is the only offense that has caused my figure to be up.
Kingston said that all other categories of crime in his division is on the decline, but the region is battling to tackle the serious crime of rape.
We have had a total of close, I think, 19 reports of rape compared to probably like 6 or 7 for last year. So we have had an increase in rape.
The senior officer said because of the increase in rape cases, the Child Care and Protection Agency and other children's organizations have been called in to assist.
There is a planned agenda for us to go out and meet persons in the various villages, especially over the north.
The collaboration between the organizations and the police of Region 8 has been ongoing since May, according to Kingston.
It is a work in progress. We are working assiduously to ensuring that this kind of crime that affects the community especially over the mountain, and teenage pregnancy is being dealt with, and being dealt with very rigidly.
Just recently, police released statistics to the state-run Guyana Chronicle, which shows that during the period January to June 2021, 153 reports of rape were lodged with the police, compared to 90 reports for the same period last year. This represents a 70% spike in rape cases. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Coming up, the UN seeks $75 million for Madagascar food crisis. International news is next.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy a life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Internationally, communities in southern Madagascar are on the verge of starvation after a combination of drought, sandstorms, and pest infestations destroyed harvests. The UN said $75 million is needed before the end of the year to fight the crisis. More in this Reuters report.
People in southern Madagascar are resorting to eating locusts and wild leaves, the United Nations has said, after harvests were ruined, leaving more than 1.1 million people in severe food insecurity. Stefan Dujarric is spokesperson for the UN Secretary-General.
We, along with our partners on the ground, are gravely concerned about the deteriorating humanitarian situation in the Grand Sud, devastating combination of a severe drought, the worst in 40 years, sandstorms, pest infestations have led to crop losses of up to 60%.
Agencies say drought in the country has gone on longer than expected, and that funds received so far are not enough to cover the current and future needs of those affected. Dujarric said the UN is seeking $75 million before the end of the year to scale up the response, adding that $75 million is not a lot of money in the scope of things.
New Zealand reported its first recorded death linked to Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine after a woman suffered a rare side effect leading to inflammation of the heart muscle. Here's more.
New Zealand reported its first death linked to the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, the health ministry said on Monday, after a woman suffered a rare side effect leading to the inflammation of the heart muscle. The report follows a review by an independent panel monitoring the safety of the vaccines. The panel attributed the death to myocarditis, a rare but known side effect of the Pfizer vaccine, the ministry added. Myocarditis is an inflammation of the heart muscle that can limit the organ's ability to pump blood and cause changes in heartbeat rhythms. The health ministry said other medical issues at the same time could have influenced the outcome after vaccination. But the vaccine's benefit outstripped risks from side effects.
And that's
Director General of Health Ashley Bloomfield.
the risk of myocarditis after the vaccine is a lot lower than risk of myocarditis after being infected with COVID-19. So that's another point I'd make.
Pfizer said it recognised there could be rare reports of myocarditis, but such side effects were extremely rare. The report comes as the country battles an outbreak of the Delta variant after nearly 6 months of being virus-free. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern put the country's largest city, Auckland, in lockdown for another 2 weeks on Monday.
Up next in sport, Patriots CEOs weigh in on breach COVID protocols and Nivision cricketers selected to Under-19 team. Stay tuned.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy a life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
First up in sport, top Patriots officials have shed some more light on the circumstances surrounding the removal of SKN Patriots player Mikhail Lewis from the CPL tournament. In an interview with ZIZ on Monday, co-CEO of the Patriots, Vaibhav Mehta, also known as VM, explained that at the time, Lewis had been under stressful circumstances, and that led him to breaching the protocols on Saturday.
He lost his friend and he was very, very depressed. Okay, you know how things are in bubble, right? And he went to the beach. He wanted to just speak to someone, and he just texted someone from his family, and they, obviously rightly came to see him. And just seeing their loved ones, he just went outside the bubble and had a chat with them for quite some time, and then came back to the bubble. So on humanitarian grounds, everything that he did was okay.
Mehta said that from a protocol standpoint, Lewis did break the rules, but they're not angry with him, as nothing is more important than one's mental peace.
Yes, he's broken the bubble, but the reason is totally different. And we at St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots are not at all angry or frustrated. Nothing. We had a chat with him. We told him, look, cricket is... We come to this island every year. The opportunity is given to each and every youngster. All we want you to do is bring your focus back, stabilize yourself, and work hard again, so that we talk again next year. Nothing is more important than your mental peace.
Meanwhile, the Patriots' other co-CEO, Venki Sridhar, said the only disappointment is that Lewis did not reach out to the Patriots officials for help.
When we started this year, it was reiterated by the owner, the coach, the captain that, we are a family and we will behave like a family. And we really took those, emotions quite seriously, which is where I think one of the disappointments that we as a management team have with Mickey was probably that he didn't reach out to anyone in the team. Then, we along with CPL would have figured out a way to manage that situation or provide access within a framework which would have allowed him not to have been outside of the bubble. At the same time, would have also would have mitigated his emotional downtime as well.
The Patriots officials say they are sympathetic with the circumstances involved, and there will be no further penalties taken towards Lewis. They said they will be working with the health authorities and CPL officials to determine the safest way for Lewis to leave the bubble and spend time with his family. 3 teenagers from Nevis have been successful in their bid to become members of the Under-19 Cricket West Indies 18-man team scheduled to tour England in September. Anderson Amerden, who's 18, 17-year-old Carlin Bowen Tuckett, and 17-year-old Onaje Amory were selected after weeks of intense training sessions and practice matches. Scheduled matches begin on Saturday, September 4 in Beckenham and will conclude on Friday, September 17 at Canterbury. Members of the team's management include Rohan Nurse, Sir Curtly Ambrose, Steve Librad, Junie Mitchum, Avanish Sitaram, Alex Ford, and Lyndon Knights. The tour is a lead-up to the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup scheduled to be held from January 4 to February 3, 2022. When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines. Stay with us.
The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris, wants to alert the public about fake Facebook and social media accounts that are circulating. These sites may look genuine, but they're not. These fake sites may use the Prime Minister's photo and name, but their only intention is to spread misinformation through false and scandalous information. Some of these pages are scams and will attempt to dupe you out of money. Do not trust them. You can find the real Prime Minister Harris on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by searching for his official handle, which is @PMHarrisKN. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages that claim to be the Prime Minister's but do not have PM Harris KN right after the / are fake accounts. These should be reported to the respective social media sites. You can also report fake social media accounts to presssec@gov.kn. That's PRESSEC@gov.kn. Facebook has verified Prime Minister Harris's official page by placing a white check mark inside a blue circle next to the Prime Minister's name, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. This blue circle appears just above @PMHarrisKN. Also, be alert. If the person claiming to be either the Prime Minister or another government official asks you for money through instant messenger, direct message, or any other means, this is a scam and not a real charity. This public service announcement was produced in order to help you be an informed social media user. Protect yourself and help spread the message.
We now wrap up with a recap of the top stories. Police investigating body found in Nevis. One killed in car crash at Bird Rock, and Patriots player removed from CPL tournament. And that's it for the ZIZ Major Newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jason Davis.